Ball Facts coming back at you again, and we gonna give you the facts. Yeah, you know what we gotta talk about. Lamelo Ball. Guys, everybody's talking about what team he's gonna go to, what number he's gonna go in the draft, but we know he's going top 10, top 5. This guy has turned the world upside down. Everybody talked about his father destroying his chances to get to the NBA, but these guys are celebrating because LeVar has handed the league on a platter Lamelo Ball. He's wrapped them up and gave them a superstar. Now, we're going to see what he's going to develop into, but I want to talk about how he got to where he is today, the road he traveled, and what he got along that road that prepared him for the NBA. We got to talk about AAU. Okay, everybody knows that this guy was youngest player on the court by far. His dad made his own AAU team just so that Lamelo could play up. And while he played up, what he learned was fearlessness. That was the first thing he learned at this level of basketball. When everybody's a foot taller than you, when everybody weighs 30 pounds heavier than you, and you're still giving them buckets because the way your father taught you how to play, fast and splash, then you know that gives you confidence. I mean, you got to remember, while they were saying LaMelo Ball was a joke, he went head to head with Zion and still dropped buckets. He was fearless. He learned this in this stage of the game. Thank you, LeVar, for enrolling him at an early age to play up in AAU. Next, we got to talk about high school level. At the high school level, this guy learned something as well. Everyone knows that. So since he developed that fearlessness playing young in AAU, he took it right into high school as the youngest player. But in high school, he learned how to win in front of big crowds. That means something, guys. Don't think that's just nothing. No, when there's a crowd around, it affects certain players. But LaMelo coming in and LiAngelo and Lonzo being there to back him up, that undefeated season showed him how to win under pressure, showed him how to win when all eyes are on you. And this is something that is not obtained by everyone. I know some guys that are straight fire in the gym when you're playing around. Then you put them inside of a gymnasium with tons of people and they become less than mediocre. Well, LaMelo Ball performed with the lights on. He learned how to win at Chino Hills. He learned how to win with the target on his back. When you're an undefeated team and you're being ranked higher and higher, every game you win, there's more pressure on for the next game because you're trying to keep that undefeated season alive. So with the pressure mounting, he learned how to win under all of that weight. And of course, having a super supportive family in the stands and two brothers on the floor with you helps tremendously. But these are the things that he has learned along his journey. Next, we gotta move to Lithuania. Yes, LaMelo's stint in the LKL. He went over there and played for a short period of time, and people thought it was a just complete waste of time, but it wasn't, and I'll tell you why. He learned something over there that is so valuable. He learned what it feels like to be in a toxic locker room with players that do not like each other, that hate on each other, don't pass the ball. Man, when you feel that, and you see why it happened and you understand how to avoid it, that is so valuable because you don't want that to happen in the NBA. You'd rather it happen somewhere else. But he learned what that felt like and how to deal with it. Now, I gotta talk about the JBA. Some people act like it never existed. They wish it never existed. They say it was unsuccessful, but it was successful in starting something in the minds of people in America, people in sports that you don't have to always do what the big companies do. You can try something new. And I think it could still be successful if you put the right pieces around it and the right investments. But the JBA helped LaMelo mature. Do you guys remember when LaMelo was just a goofy, play around only type of kid? And then Lonzo stepped on the court during his practice for the JBA and told him, this is a business now. You need to grow up. You need to take this serious. He started understanding that when he got to the JBA. When he looked around and seen that the seats were empty, he understood I could be the face of something and I got to get really into this. Of course, he also seen that he needed G3 Honcho to come through and splash some shots. But it really prepared him being in the JBA for a professional career, professional lifestyle. That's where his mind began to evolve when he looked around. He was on that JBA international tour and he said, you know what? I think I want to go back to high school. I want to finish it right. I want to start again with the right mindset. So he went back to Spire, and that came out of being at the JBA. Now, we got to talk about Spire. Spire Academy out there in Cleveland, Ohio, what he learned at this level of his game. See, when he left and then came back, he came back totally different. We knew Lamelo when he left as just the guy who chucked shots. That's all people thought about him. 92-point game. He just throws up lots of shots. But when he got to Spire, what he learned from the toxic environment at the LKL, what he learned from, the JBA and professionalism, he knew, I'm going to turn into a pass first genius. And that's what Lamelo turned into. Everybody started comparing him to Lonzo when he got to Spire. The kid was dropping triple doubles. See, he could always pass, but when he got to Spire, he was like a pass first point guard. He still had his shot. He got a little lift. He started dunking, but the guy was just passing to everybody. And that's what he learned at Spire, how to get his teammates involved the best way. Now, after Spire, we were wondering what Lamelo was going to do. What is this kid going to do? They were saying he wanted to go to, college, and everybody on ESPN was saying the colleges were not going to accept him. So now, and LeVar leaks at one of his games, he says he's going to go either to China or Australia, and we're just biting our nails wondering what is going to happen. And then he goes on ESPN and announces, I'm taking my talents to Australia, the Illawarra Hawks. And he goes there. And we love it. He doesn't even play that many games due to an injury, and he ends the season early. But quickly, he solidifies himself as the number one pick, the number one option that guys want to have. Like, everyone is shocked. But they didn't see the journey, and they didn't see what he got along the way. They forgot about the training. They forgot about the hills. But Lamelo didn't forget. LeVar didn't forget. Since way back when, he'd been saying number one pick. He has never changed on that. So what did Lamelo learn in Australia? I'll tell you. He learned how to be a franchise player. He learned how to be the face of a professional team. He learned how to look in the stands, huge numbers of people, and see number one jerseys, LaMelo Ball everywhere, cameras all in his face, scouts out there in the audience, the live show. He learned how to perform as the number one guy. See, at Spire, he had Rocket Watts, LKL, he had Jello, JBA, he had Jello, Chino Hills, he had Jello Lonzo. He was never just the one guy that everybody looked at. He was literally the LeBron James of Australia. That's what he became. What Zion was to college basketball, LaMelo was to the NBL. He became the face, and he knew it. And he performed. He lived up to expectations. He surpassed them. So if you're wondering why LeVar has no regrets, or says he has no regrets about the route he took Lamelo, why would you question that? Look what he's learned at every level. He's got something that most of these kids do not have. I'm telling you right now, the route that he's traveled is going to make him a better rookie in the NBA, period. They're all trying to get to the same destination. They all got a different GPS, and some take this way and some take that way. LaMelo took his own route to get to that destination. And other people says, well, ours was less complicated. Well, when you get to the same spot that LaMelo gets, he has more of what he needs to dominate at that destination. So how can you be mad at that? Well, you can if you want to. LaMelo could be mad, or LaMelo could be grateful. I think he's grateful. I think he's happy. How many people get to the NBA with a guy like JJ connected to him at the hip, who's been helping them, mentoring them, training them? He's got a leg up. He just does. And that's what all these scouts and these people see. They're looking at everything, they're adding it up, and they're saying, wow, it's unconventional, but it's real. He's the real deal. He has what it takes. And they're like, I hate to admit it, but the big baller was right. He was right. And I literally wouldn't care if LaMelo was drafted in the 20 spot, even though we know that that's not going to happen. He's going to get drafted. He took a whole nother route than anybody else, and everybody said he was going to fail. Just the fact that he's going to be there on draft night and put on a hat says volumes. It says that we don't have to do things your way, and we can make ourselves so skilled that you still want us. You need us. I am so tired of people talking about LeVar and the way he got his sons to where they are. Why are you worrying about all that when he got them where they are? Did you get your son that far? Probably not. I don't think so. How could you be hating on this man? Just get over your jealousy. Get over it. Some of you people are riding the bus and hating on the guy driving a Honda Civic. Just stop. Just cut it out. Can you build somebody up? Can you be happy for somebody? Can you congratulate somebody? Have you ever failed in life? Have you ever made a mistake and turned it around for the good? Come on, people. It's not rocket science. Lamelo, don't despise the route that LeVar took you on, because you learned something at the AAU level. You learned something at Chino Hills. You learned something in the LKL. You learned something at the JBA. You learned something at Spire. You learned something in Australia. Your route was the route that's less traveled, but it arrived right on time. And I can't wait to see what you do in the league. It's going to be epic. It really is. And BallFacts is going to be here the whole ride. On draft night, I'm not worried about any other person and what spot they go. Soon as you get drafted, I'm going live. I'm celebrating. That's it. Videos on deck. We getting ready for it. Summer League gonna be crazy. All right, guys, I need you to like, comment, share this video, and subscribe. BallFacts again. Peace.